At 6:48 in the morning, every phone in Willow Creek Estates went off at the same time. Fraud alert. Your HOA just purchased a titanium Ridge LX for $80,76, and right there in the alert was a dealership photo of our HOA president, Patricia Hale Heel, on the bumper of this shiny silver SUV, like she'd just claimed land for the Queen. And by 8 that night, the county was in our clubhouse. Patricia had a lawyer who already looked like he regretted his whole career. And I was standing in front of my neighbors with a binder and a projector, proving she'd been using our money like her personal credit card. So yeah, that happened. My name's Evan. I live in Willow Creek Estates, North Carolina. It's one of those planned communities with the matching shutters and the fake lake and the brochures that say words like peaceful and high standards. And I moved in because I work from home, doing audio cleanup for podcasts and small indie film guys. I like quiet. I like minding my own business. I'm the kind of neighbor who waves from the driveway and then goes straight back inside. You know what I mean? And that should have been the end of it. Except our HOA isn't just landscaping and pool rules. It's basically a tiny government. And that tiny government is Patricia. Now, Patricia is that type of person who acts like HOA president is the same thing as governor. Chin up, tight. Smile. Clipboard always in her hand. She talks like she's reading off a policy manual. No one else is allowed to see. And she has this way of making everything sound like a threat, even when she's pretending to smile. And at first I didn't take her that seriously. I thought, okay, she's one of those people, let her feel important as long as she leaves me alone. I'll just pay my dues and stay out of HOA drama, right? Yeah, that was cute. The first month I'm there, I get a violation notice taped to my door at 5:40 a.m. Big red letters. Exterior. Sound violation. And I'm like, what sound? I barely even talk to anybody. Turns out she's writing me up for wind chimes on my back porch. I go down to knock on her door later, and I'm holding this paper and I'm like, hey, what is this? And she doesn't even blink. She tells me, the approved pitch range for outdoor chimes in Willow Creek is D major. Yours are in C. You have until Friday. Or it's a $50 non-compliance fee. And I laugh because I honestly think she's joking, and she just stares at me like I'm the crazy one, like I'm the one disrespecting civilization because my porch doesn't meet her tuning standard. That's how it starts. Week 2. Hose storage violation. Because my garden hose is coiled on the ground and not stored on. An HOA-approved wall mount, Week 3 unapproved welcome mat messaging, because my doormat says, come on in. Dogs are friendly, and Patricia tells me dead serious. The tone invites loitering and undermines the community's security posture. And I'm standing there at my own front door half awake, and I'm like, it's a $12 mat from Target, and she goes, we'll revisit that, like I'm in trouble with the principal. And here's the part that people who've never lived under someone like that don't get. It's not about the $25 fine for the hose or the $50 fine for the chimes. It's about the way she knocks at 6 a.m. and writes you up while she's still standing on your porch. It's the way she keeps this little black notebook where she writes your name. If you talk back slow, like she wants you to see her doing it. And she calls that list enhanced monitoring, like she's running federal surveillance instead of measuring doormats. And if your name's in that book, you start getting violations every other day until you stop asking questions. And people did stop asking questions because that's how control works in a place like this. Everybody tells themselves it's just easier to pay the fee. Keep your head down, keep your mouth shut. Meanwhile, the money starts getting weird. Our dues are supposed to be $135 a month to cover the pool lighting, landscaping, all that. But then these mystery charges start sneaking into statements. Little add-ons that sound official but don't mean anything. Community enhancement review for $21, vehicular aesthetic study for $30, infrastructure readiness fee for $18.75. And when neighbors ask in board meetings what those are. Patricia leans back in her chair with her fingers laced and says, "Transparency is a privilege of compliant households," which is not even a real policy phrase. That's just a fancy way of saying shut up. And of course her board just nods along because she hand-picked them. They're three guys who vote approved before she even finishes her sentences. And if anybody from the neighborhood tries to push back in the meeting, she adds them to that little list in her book. So that was the situation, and yeah, I was mad. But I was still doing what most people do. Pay it and move on. Until the morning every phone in the neighborhood went off at once. I'm in my kitchen making coffee strong enough to wake up a corpse when my phone buzzes with a bank alert, and at the exact same moment my group chat starts exploding, and I mean exploding. It's screenshots and, "Are you seeing this?" and "Is this legal?" And the alert says our HOA card, not Patricia's personal card, not her business card, our HOA's money, just made a purchase for $82 on dealership description. Titanium Ridge LX in platinum mist, premium upgrade package, underbody lighting, panoramic roof. And attached to the alert is a photo of Patricia standing next to this brand new SUV with a giant red bow on the hood and her heel up like she's shooting a luxury ad. And out loud, I just say, "Oh, you have got to be kidding me." I step outside, and half the block is already out in pajamas holding their phones, like we all just got drafted. And my neighbor Mark is just standing in his driveway going, "Did we just buy her a car? Did we all just buy her a car?" And here's the beautiful part. Because whatever else Patricia is, she is not tech smart. She didn't realize the HOA account has a fraud protection rule. Anything over $5,000 sends an alert to every single homeowner on file, so the whole neighborhood at the same time saw what she did. That should have been the end right there. But Patricia, who lives on pure nerve, makes it worse, like way worse. She hops on Facebook Live from the clubhouse lot with this SUV behind her like it's a police cruiser, and she starts doing this speech about rapid compliance deployment and neighborhood enforcement mobility and snow response capability. We live in North Carolina. It snows like twice a decade, and she keeps calling it our HOA patrol vehicle. And I'm sitting there watching like she really thinks she's getting away with this. And then mid-live stream, this county compliance guy just pulls up behind her. No lights, no yelling. Just stands there with his arms crossed, like he's watching a raccoon try to open a safe. And he says calm, "Ma'am, who authorized municipal tax exemption on this purchase?" And Patricia's smile glitches like bad Wi-Fi because what she did, and this comes out later, is she reclassified our HOA in the banking system as an emergency infrastructure authority, so she could dodge the normal $5,000 cap and skip sales tax by pretending we're basically a government subdivision, which, spoiler, we are not. And I swear to you, this is the exact second something shifts in me, because up until that moment, I've been telling myself, stay quiet, don't get targeted. It's not worth the stress. But standing there watching this woman who fined me for my welcome mat, basically, commit fraud with money. I paid. Something in me goes, actually, no, we're not doing this, and not today. Now, I'm not a fighter. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not the loud guy. I'm a sound engineer who labels files and keeps receipts. So that is what I do. I start digging. I print 18 months of HOA statements. I highlight every made-up fee in yellow. I line up all my violation notices. Non-compliant hose storage, unapproved welcome mat. Tone, exterior, sound violation. Due to chimes in C major instead of D, I pull screenshots from the group chat showing nobody voted on a patrol SUV. And then my neighbor Jenna knocks on my door, and Jenna, bless her, her husband works at the bank, and she says very low, "You didn't get this from me." And she shows me the internal approval log, and this thing is a movie. It shows Patricia going into the system at 9:12 a.m., changing our HOA classification to Emergency Infrastructure Authority at 9:14 a.m. She overrides the spending limit at 9:18 a.m. She approves the SUV purchase at 9:25 a.m. She is literally at the dealership taking the bow on the hood picture, like she planned the whole heist down to the Instagram moment. That night, we call an emergency HOA meeting in the clubhouse, and I've lived here 2 years. I have never seen that many people in one room folding chairs. Packed, people standing in the doorway. Somebody actually brought popcorn. And Patricia walks in wearing pearls and acting like she's still in charge, dragging a lawyer who already looks tired. And I walk in with my laptop HDMI cable and a binder that could break a wrist. And I'm not going to pretend I was brave. My hands were shaking. I'm not the guy who talks in crowds. But I plug into the projector and I start showing slides. First slide is the fraud alert. We all got 20 feet wide on the wall. The room gasps like a movie trailer. Second slide is the lease agreement for the Titanium Ridge LX, where it clearly says the SUV will be garaged at 118 Briar Hollow, which is Patricia's house. Not any shared facility, and somebody in the third row just goes, "Oh my God," without even meaning to. Third slide is gas receipts from the HOA card showing patrol activity at an outlet mall, a nail spa, a casino, 2 hours south Target. And you can feel the whole room go from angry to done-like. Done. Done. Fourth slide is a GPS breadcrumb map from the dealership's complimentary tracking service, and it's basically a wine tour of Patricia's social life. And the last slide is her upgrade package, heated and cooled HATS 360 camera. Panoramic sunroof, premium audio, ambient interior, lighting with a custom tone. Literally labeled Patricia Pearl, and I just say into the mic, this is not a patrol vehicle. This is a luxury toy that she bought with our dues. Patricia's lawyer tries to talk, and one of the state investigators who showed up shuts him down with a hand. Then her buddy Dennis from the board stands up and goes, "Patricia has always acted in the best interest of Willow Creek," and the investigator goes, "Great, show us the vote authorizing the purchase." And Dennis pulls out a napkin. I am not kidding, a napkin that says SUV approval, with 3 signatures under it all in Patricia's handwriting in 3 different pen colors. And the room actually laughs like people couldn't hold it in anymore. And at that point, it's over. The state freezes the HOA account. Patricia gets served with civil theft paperwork and a restraining order, keeping her 50 feet away from any HOA funds. The dealership agrees to unwind the deal. If we return the SUV, untouched, the bank rep literally sets up a little wireless card reader in the clubhouse and starts refunding us on the spot. For every fake fee Patricia ever slapped on our bills, plus months of inflated dues, beep, 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 like we're checking out at a grocery store full of justice. We vote to remove her, and it's basically unanimous. She's banned from serving on any HOA board. In the state for 5 years. She's ordered to cover penalties, audit costs, legal fees, and do 100 duties. 80 hours of community service maintaining Lake Willow. which is the same retention pond. She always called a visual liability when she was fining people for feeding ducks, and when she hears all that, she finally cracks. Her hands are shaking. She's pale, and she whispers, "You can't do this. I have a mortgage. This will ruin me." And nobody moves. Nobody says, "Take it easy." Nobody goes, "That's too harsh." And I'm just standing there thinking, you spent months telling us rules are rules, and now you're standing in your own rules. We didn't celebrate. Nobody hugged in the parking lot. People just walked home in this quiet little shock. Did we really just overthrow our HOA in one night? And I'll be honest, I wasn't happy exactly. It was more like steady, like I finally wasn't being pushed under someone's thumb anymore. So now I'm going to ask you the part I really want to know. And I want you to drop it in the comments because I read them. Who's actually the bigger problem in neighborhoods like this? People like Patricia, who treat authority like a crown, or all of us who stay quiet and let them get that far, because we don't want trouble. And second question, be real with me, do you think it's fair that she might lose her house over this? Or is that too much? Tell me where you stand, and if you've lived through something like this, HOA, boss, family, whatever. I want to hear that too.